So I bought this Hornby Hymek. I think last year. I don't actually remember where I bought it. I think I bought it in the UK. Had it delivered to my father's and picked it up on a visit. No, I haven't looked at this. Haven't done any work on it. You can see there's a buffer missing at the front. Haven't spotted that before. Also, I think I tested it pretty much after I received it, and it was a non-runner. So I'm going to test it. I've got a little piece of track, like whack a battery on it. It's an old steel track, so now we can. Of course, it was working a few minutes ago. But yeah, so we can see at least if it's alive. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Okay, now that's better. But I don't think it's completely dead, I'm pretty sure. Well, it needs cleaning, that's for sure. So, we need to take this apart. I bought these are glue spreaders. I saw them on another YouTuber's channel and found them in the UK. So when I saw them, I thought I should buy them. And they seem to be quite useful for unclipping the body off a train, rather than using fingernails or screwdrivers. So I think I can see two clips here. There we go. On one side. The other side I don't see clips. That's odd. Oops. That should be enough to wedge it off. There we go. Right. See, this head code sticker is coming off at this end. It's very odd. At one end you get the head code poking through, and at the other end you see there's a hole. And at the other end the head code is printed on the body itself. That's very peculiar. Right, what do we have? Looks fairly clean, there's no rust there. Let's take off this clip to remove the driving bogey. Why can't I get under? Oh. That seems to be very well stuck down. There we go. So we have what does that do? There's a little bit of metal here. It's not brushes on this side is, yep. That all looks very dry and quite dark. Oh, that's quite. I've seen before in other videos that the worm gear and the drive shaft is quite loose. I'm certainly dead. I wonder if there's a short on both sides. I don't think so, because normally if there is a short, you'll get sparks off the battery. Let's try the resistance meter. Ooh, that's very loose. Oh, that looks okay. There should be some amount of resistance across this, but there's nothing. It's not shorting at least, but there's no resistance whatsoever between both sides. No, it's dead. Nothing there at all. I do notice this is absolutely no magnet, no strength at all whatever with the magnet. That's quite worrying. Oh, everything spins. It's not seized up. Oh, that's like slightly coming to life there, and there are sparks. Okay. Just try and get it onto the track, so no, there's still nothing. There was a sign of life there. Okay, now it's come to life. Not sure why. Not in reverse. Now it's gone again. Oh no, there we go. In reverse. It's very very much only in one direction. That's very odd. Now it's gone again. Well, it's a bit of a mystery to me why it seems to only work in one direction and not the other. It doesn't make sense if there's no diode anywhere. I'm going to try and these brushes are really, really nasty to take out and put back, so I'm going to try and clean everything in situ. Clean the commutator and the brush heads. Try not to break. These solder joints are not very strong. Don't understand. Why does it sometimes work? start taking things apart here. Nut has come out. And the screw, and then this should lift off. Oh, there's a bit of stickiness to the battery, to the magnets rather. Oh, that's sticky. There is some grease in there. It seems to rotate quite freely. Oh, the brushes have fallen out. And not too bad. Don't see anything particularly out of joint. A bit of sandpaper. It's got a lot of dirt on it. It's slightly loose, I noticed. It should only have a stick down. This one is slightly. This is going to be fiddly. Getting the contacts on the inside. The wheels. Yeah, this is loose. This shouldn't be so loose. On the inside. Oh, unfortunately, we have to get these brushes back in. And there's a piece of insulation on one of the sides. I think it was this side. These are notoriously difficult. With the wires connected as well, it's not so easy. A lot of people take these wires off. Probably put this through as well. This little nut. It's however still loose. Why? Oh, there's a little slot here. And that goes in. Got it. Now I just have to do these. Which way do they go? This has to be. It just goes too far, doesn't it? It's hard to do with, especially with these wires connected. I have done this before. I went away and spent an afternoon fiddling around with this and finally got it to work. What I realised was this nut at the top wasn't very tight, and this strip here, the one on the side, has to be contacting with this. There's like a little guide at the front, two little prongs which fit around a bit of plastic. So I think these weren't properly set up, which was causing I don't know, it would work in one direction but not the other, but now it's easily working in both. I did a little bit of work on the pickups. Just want to make sure they're really clean, because when I cleaned the actual copper, all the dirt came off and it's picking up off the back of the wheels. So I just want to make sure that the wheels are properly clean on the inside. So I do this. See how much is coming off. Come on. This is where the pickups are taking the electricity from. So that should help when picking up electricity from the wheels. It's gone a little bit. Now, while I was messing around, this wire came off at this point, so what I need to do is solder this back on, which is going to be a bit fiddly, but that's the way it goes. I need to get this wire just there. I might use my helping hand for this. Try and keep the wire in the right position. Right. Let me charge up the soldering iron. To melt the solder and push the wire in. There it goes. Has that worked? Yes, I think it has. Carefully undo this. Right. That should have made the connection. It's not so easy to test because you have to connect the opposing, this wheel and this wheel. You can't really do that with a 9-volt battery. Might have to get out another power controller. Oh yeah, first I want to oil up the engine, lubricate the engine. When I touched the worm gears, there was plenty of oil on them. It looks kind of grease, so I think they're reasonably well lubricated, but I wanted to get some oil onto these oil pads. Drip. Drip. And then bearings. Okay, that's all I need to do internally. I'll do the axles once I get everything reconstructed. So I've got to carefully pull this wire through. And replace the clip. Where did the clip go? Should I put it in my tray? Ah, there it is. It should just be able to be done by hand. Tick. So put this on the little bit test track. Seems to be going fairly nicely. This has magnesium. This is an orbit of steel track. You can see when you lift this off, there's a slight stickiness. It has magnesium magnets here. You can take them out because I use mostly nickel silver, but yeah, they're doing no harm in there, I don't think. Right. Oh yeah, we saw previously there was no, before that little washer was correctly oriented, we were getting infinite resistance, in fact, between the two sides. Now we see there is a decent amount of resistance, and that's what you'd expect going through the motor itself. That should give it a little bit of resistance. In using the head code, on this side we have the two tabs underneath the driver's door to click back in. Just need to give that a little bit of space. Back. There it goes. I'm going to quickly do the axle bearings. Here we are on the layout, or on the floor, as the case may be. I think it's probably not a good idea to run a long loco on the small layout, so let's test it down here. Yeah, it's definitely alive now. It sounds pretty much as you'd expect. It's not going to be quiet. Fairly smooth. I'm quite pleased with that. bad at all. Let's find some wagons to put behind it. And something's come off. So it's the cooling spare rod at the front. I did notice that the coupling at the back of this Hymek is not really the right height. It seems to go quite nicely to slow speed. There it goes again. I want you to do some work on the couplings, I think. Right, one problem I found is that it goes in the wrong direction. The polarity somehow has been reversed somewhere. So this should be forwards, and this should be reverse. That should be forwards, that should be going from left to right if I replace it with my Westwood 040 industrial shunter. I haven't switched the direction on the controller. Forwards, backwards. So how is it that the polarity is reversed on this? Let me think about this. Well, I've had a look on Google, and everything looks like I reassembled it correctly. The wires to the non-driven bogie come off the back. I did take this spider assembly off, the assembly that contacts the wheels, the pickups. If I put it on the wrong way around, then the two connections, the solder connections to the other bogie would be here. That's definitely not the case. So no, I'm stumped. I don't know why this goes in the wrong direction. Any help would be gratefully received. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.